Good afternoon and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Andreas Rondon.
And I'm Nicole Steeves.
And we are having one heck of a day. It's really, really humid out there, and we have some storms that are coming in later on, but we'll get to that in a second. How humid is it out there?
It's horrible. Like my hair is frizzing. I'm just really not enjoying it. But the breeze kind of made it feel a little bit nicer out. Hopefully we'll see a lower humidity. Probably not, though.
Well, humidity right now is currently at 71%.
Wow.
With a dew point at 68. So that wind that you're talking about, it was at 13 miles per hour, I believe. That's really helping mix things up.
Yeah.
Because if not, it was going to be, the air would be very stagnant.
Definitely.
So it would just, that ick factor is still up, though. I came from outside and I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, I'm like drowning when I breathe because it is so humid.
But you know what? That's hopefully with the system that's going to come on by, it should drop that humidity and that dew point down. So we'll be back to comfortable weather. But we'll see what happens. But please be sure to keep in tune with the weather for the next couple of days, because the system that's coming by, it's going to bring a lot of storms. I believe we're in a slight risk for severe weather tomorrow.
That we are.
So please if you're out and about, make sure you're staying tuned to the radio, to the TV stations, anything that you can get your hands on, because tomorrow it's going to be some active weather around the area. But for right now, we're going to head it off to Shane for a look at the overview.
Thanks, Andres. We sure do have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about tonight. And let's get started with 77 degrees. That's our current temperature in Tallahassee. And the humidity is right up there at 74%. So, Nicole, your hair is not the only one that's giving people problems today. I'm feeling the humidity as well. And we've got the rain moving into our region. This is the first wave that's going to come through the southeast, and it's knocking on Tallahassee's door. We've got some strong rain right there on the tri-state area, and we're going to see more of that coming over the next few days. Stay tuned for full details. But tonight, we're going to get down to a low of 67 degrees in Tallahassee. We're calling for a 40% chance of rain building as we progress into the overnight hours. And let's break down tonight's show for you. Once again, we've got those storms on the way. We expect them to be out of here by Saturday night for a beautiful start to next week. For full details, keep watching. But now let's throw it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Shane. And we have actually a big event coming on Saturday.
Very big event. The big event.
The big event here at FSU.
Yep, I'm so excited. It's such a nice time to see all of these organizations come together and help the community. I'm so excited.
It's a big way for the university to say thanks to the community that harbors us here while we're here and studying at FSU, trying to continue our education. It's a nice way to give back.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're interested, please go Saturday. I believe they start at 9 o'clock, 9:30. It's at the Civic Center?
Yes, the Civic Center. That's when the ceremonies start. And it doesn't end until 5, just one whole big day of thanks.
Yeah, but on Saturday, we're expecting some rain early in the day, so please, it should be out by around about noon. Mm-hmm. So after that, the big event should be a big hit. So just bear with it for the beginning part of it, because after it should clear up.
Yep, maybe bring an umbrella, maybe a poncho.
Yeah.
But let's take it to Casey and talk about that.
Thanks, guys. Let's look at those current conditions right now. We are seeing 77 degrees, mostly cloudy skies in Tallahassee, 74% humidity, and those winds south-southeast at 13 miles an hour. So relatively nice conditions now, but conditions will deteriorate as we get later toward the evening and overnight hours. If we do track the storm system getting closer toward our region, that will bring a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Now, as we go ahead and brighten things out toward those current temperatures, we're seeing 77, of course, Tallahassee, 77 Quincy, 72 Bainbridge, 77 Mariana. These are some of the areas that will be first impacted by some showers and thunderstorms. Now, those winds, 13 in Tallahassee out of miles an hour, of course, 17 Panama City, 10 Pensacola. You see the wind flow. This is a southerly wind, which is bringing in moisture, which makes conditions more conducive for severe weather potential that we'll again be watching tonight, tomorrow, and even into Saturday. I'll be breaking that down more a little bit later as we get in toward a solo desk segment that I'll have for you. Now, your satellite radar, southeast waves, already have seen some warnings on these storms in southeast Alabama. In fact, currently one right now reports to Jackson County, just outside of our viewing circle. So something that is very much worth noting, and we'll continue to keep an eye on here throughout the evening, as we could definitely see some warnings in some of our northernmost counties. A slight risk of severe weather is in effect for Gadsden County and our viewing circle for tonight. Marginal risk for the rest of our counties. Now, for the forecast, again, you see this cool front. Showers and thunderstorms a possibility. I think computer model underdoing the potential for tonight. We'll see a few more, actually, than what is showing. Tomorrow, though, quite a bit of rain on the way associated with this cool front. Showers, thunderstorms will be the story here across the Tallahassee region. Something to keep a very close eye on here. Again, could see strong, severe weather, maybe even a spin-up tornado a possibility. So something to keep a close eye on here. There's a chance the National Weather Service will issue a tornado watch. Actually, Storm Prediction Center, of course, issuing that in Norman, Oklahoma, and we'll see how that does evolve with that tornado watch issuance throughout the day. Now, putting this into motion, you see this cool front coming further toward the east. Again, showers, thunderstorms will be a threat here across our region, lingering into your Friday night. And those plans that you might have probably will get watched out, unfortunately. Anything associated with springtime Tallahassee not looking so good right now and early into Saturday. But as we get later toward the day, especially afternoon, it should just turn nice. Should start to really see clear air come in, and you should be able to go out and enjoy your weekend, which should be beautiful. So on the sand, again, that UV index we'll be watching in the high range, but probably not going to be going out there tomorrow with those storms around. For tonight, 67 degrees. Again, clouds will be increasing. Could have some storms around, again, like I've been referencing. And tomorrow, thunderstorms likely. Again, severe weather is a possibility. And now that extended outlook, we're going to see exactly what we're going to see. First, of course, that weather wear. Rain jacket, have that on hand, rain boots. But nicer conditions for Sunday. 7-day, again, you see those temperatures relatively nice around after we get past that rainy situation. But right now, let's go ahead and take it over to Tyler.
Thank you, Casey. And you know, we're not the only people that are going to be dealing with a severe weather threat. The entire southeast of the United States has some sort of severe weather threat in different categories, at least. The biggest risk is across Alabama and Mississippi, the deep south. They're under an enhanced risk of severe weather right now. But across the southeast, more across the state of Florida, we have an onshore wind from the Gulf to the Atlantic, and that means that the East Coast is slightly warmer than the West Coast at this time. And Orlando is 89 degrees, so that's about 6 or 7 degrees above their average. The rest of the Southeast is in the upper 70s to lower 80s. And across the peninsula, it's about 5 or 6 degrees warmer than what we were 24 hours ago. In fact, almost the entire East Coast is warmer. And we also have above normal temperatures up there in Arkansas, and that is with the warm wedge associated with the southerly winds driving the thunderstorm activity with the lightning strikes, which you can see here. We have that one little band of lightning across southwest Georgia and southeast Alabama. But again, the main area of strong and severe thunderstorms, at least for today, will be across Mississippi and Alabama. The radar bears this out nicely. We have one band that came through this morning. It wasn't really that severe because we didn't have daytime heating. And this new band of showers, cellular over Mississippi, that will be the main severe weather risk for today. Futurecast rainfall over the next 48 hours. We'll see a couple of inches of rain across most of the southeast. Most of our rain will come tomorrow morning through Saturday morning. We're going to see between 1 to 3 inches as a widespread estimate, but some areas, especially across the western Florida panhandle, could see anywhere between 4 and locally up to 6 inches of rain. But for tonight, it will be very mild. Temperatures will be in the middle to upper 60s across most of the southeast, with middle 70s downstate and upper 40s where the cold fronts come through. And for tomorrow, high temperatures will be up near 90 across South Florida, and also in the 70s and 80s for the rest of the southeast with some thunderstorms. But now let's send it back to the desk.
Thanks a lot, Tyler. Now, as Casey was alluding to earlier, this is our 3-part solo desk segment. We're really going to be talking about what happened before severe weather-wise and what is going to happen for the immediate area. Let's start things off with what happened yesterday out to our west because, hey, the severe weather had to start somewhere, right? Yesterday, 117 total storm reports. A lot of these were concentrated in an area, or really all of these, concentrated in an area extending from parts of Iowa, down through Texas, as well as just north of Lake Pontchartrain in Louisiana. We had a lot of hail reports, actually, on a pretty unprecedented number. 82 hail reports were measured in really all of these states, even as far north as Omaha, Nebraska, that general vicinity, down again into parts of eastern Louisiana, 5 of which were considered major hail reports with over 2-inch diameter. These are basically hailstones more than golf ball sized. 27 wind reports were measured, none of which over the 65 knot major wind category, but still causing plenty of damage, plenty of downed power lines out there. And 8 tornado reports were out there. A couple of them were considered to be major tornadoes and strengths above EF2. A lot of these were concentrated in parts of Oklahoma, just north of Tulsa, even one down in southeastern Louisiana, again, just north of the lake, and lots of flooding also. Arkansas, notably Jonesboro, was hit very hard with rain yesterday. 32 reports were called into the police about stalled cars on the highways. 3 police rescues had to be conducted from flooded roads, and as of now, Highway 163 near Jonesboro is still shut down due to the high water. So a pretty dangerous situation there, and if you're out in Jonesboro, please stay off the roads for the next few days. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the immediate threat here later on. For now, let's take it out to Nicole with a look at the local.
Thank you, Jake. And alluding to what Jake was saying earlier about severe weather, we are currently sitting at a slight risk of severe weather in the next couple of hours. Currently, we are sitting at a pretty uncomfortable humidity of 74%. We're getting a little bit cooler from what we were seeing earlier with the highs of around 83 degrees. And that this local radar is showing that this band of storms is coming down. Should be seeing those by tomorrow. And currently we are seeing 77 in Tallahassee, 72 in Bainbridge, 79 in Valdosta, pretty warm, but once those showers come in, we should be seeing slightly cooler temperatures. Tallahassee, we got some pretty gusty winds out there, as well as Quincy. Mariana at 17 miles per hour. Should be getting a little bit more once those bands come down. And for this evening, we might have a couple of showers, so make sure to bring an umbrella. We should have a low of around 67 degrees. Not too bad, could be worse. And then tomorrow, we're definitely going to be seeing some showers, if not some severe weather, 80% chance of that. And for your day planner, at 8 o'clock, the rain will come through, and just make sure to bring an umbrella. And by 12 o'clock, make sure to be on the watch for some severe weather because thunderstorms might be appearing. It will only be 74, though, so that'll be a nice change from the middle 80s that we've been seeing in the past few days. And then in the next 5 days, Friday, 80% chance of rain, like I said, 77 degrees. And then by Saturday, we will also have more severe weather, but hopefully it will dissipate by around 12. And Sunday, we will have those beautiful bright skies again, as well as throughout the rest of the week. And now to Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Nicole. Let's get right into the weather situation across our nation right now. We do see 77 Tallahassee, one of the warm spots right now. San Antonio, another 85 down in towards central Texas. Again, very warm conditions are occurring here on this Thursday evening. These areas seeing a threat for some stronger storms as well, especially in the southeast, as we've been referencing here throughout the show. And I'll go ahead and dig more into that now. Again, those temperature changes. Again, you see 14-degree departure of Kansas City here over the last 24 hours. Definitely a little bit cooler than it has been around here, around there, I should say, in this time frame. Now, you go ahead and broaden things out toward the nation, radar and satellite. Now, southeast again, some shower thunderstorms, a wave of energy moving toward Tallahassee. So we'll be watching this, especially for our northern counties, as I was referencing earlier in my local segment. Shane will have more on that here in just a little bit to recap on what's going on with the local radar currently. Now, again, you see this system in toward Alabama. We're watching some shower thunderstorms, some of these even discrete developing. I'll zoom in on that now so you can see exactly what's going on with that. And we even have some warnings in Tennessee, which I'll break down here. I'll step off with that in just a moment for you, and toward the Nashville area even. We do have a tornado warning not too far from there. And then these discrete cells again near Jackson developing. And these will be moving toward the east and toward central Alabama. And some more cells in northern Alabama, so Huntsville could be impacted as well as Birmingham over to Tuscaloosa. Some strong tornadoes a possibility. Now, moving it closer toward the Tallahassee region, again, this wave of energy. South Georgia counties need to be on guard for a few strong storms, something to keep a close eye on. So here's these watches and warnings. We have this tornado watch in the yellow color, meaning conditions are favorable for tornado activity in and close to it. Pink colors indicate severe thunderstorm watches, how my damaging winds, large hail, the main threat there. Now what I'm going to do is step off so I can give you information on that one red polygon we do have in central Tennessee right now. We do have a tornado warning, in fact right now for parts of Maury, Lewis, and Hickman counties. This was located 12 miles east of Centerville in the latest National Weather Service update, and moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So Mount Pleasant, Hampshire as well will be impacted by that. Something to keep a close eye on here in parts of central Tennessee in this red area near the Nashville metro. Airport delay-wise right now, we're not actually seeing anything. So that's the good news. Great on terms of that. So really, again, not too much to worry about as you do go across the nation. Now, I'm sure Birmingham will have some delays later tonight. Huntsville, too, regional airports getting into these as we do have some stronger storms that will be moving through these communities. Again, there is an enhanced risk of severe weather for Huntsville, Alabama, so we're really watching that for you very closely. Now, for tonight, we do see 39 degrees in Kansas City. They'll be getting some very cool conditions there in the central part of the nation. 31 Minneapolis, especially for this time of year, and even 19 in Denver. That is chilly, folks. It's cool. Those people definitely be bundling up. And tomorrow, we see these temperatures not really warming up too much. Only 45 in Denver. So just great to go outside in. But feeling like winter, even though we're already in spring, in toward that region. But right now, what I'll go ahead and do is we'll take it over for a look at things with Tyler as we continue our severe weather three-part series.
Thank you so much, Casey. You know, this severe weather event is in many ways similar to last week's severe weather event. But one thing that was different is that Saturday night was really windy. And there were a lot of questions that came in to the National Weather Service about just what it was, because we didn't have a jet stream above, and that's usually how we get strong winds to mix down to the surface, and it wasn't raining anymore. We only have stratiform rain, which really is conducive to a bunch of strong straight line winds. Well, we had something called a wake low, and that's a mesoscale feature, and it was really hard to pinpoint where they were a long time ago, like a decade or two ago. In meteorology, that's a long time, because we didn't have that many weather stations to go around, so we weren't able to pick that up. Well, we did have one Saturday night, and that produced wind gusts to around 40 miles an hour on campus. Now, again, that's really hard to predict in a day-to-day time scale, but we did have some shrubbery go down, and also it was also produced by subsidence on the backside. That's why it wasn't really raining, though we still had the lift provided by the cold front, which is why it was still cloudy outside, even though we had that subsidence. Now, this weekend, we're under a flash flood watch here in Tallahassee because of the rain that we received last week on top of the rain that we're getting this week. So you can expect 3 inches of rain on average across the region, and that will exacerbate the flooding situation across the creeks and rivers in our area. But Casey will tell you about the severe weather potential later on in the show. But for right now, we're going to send it to Andres with a look around our great state of Florida.
And thank you, Tyler. Looking at the state of Florida right now, you can see that the southern part of the state's in the about around 83 degrees. We have 81 right now in West Palm Beach, 83 in Miami, and 80 in Key West. And also, as you go up a little bit farther north, we have 89 in Orlando. But as we go even a little bit farther north, we can also see we're 77 here in Tallahassee. And the main reason behind this is the cloud cover that we're experiencing around this part of the state. These clouds really help suppress the temperatures from reaching higher degrees as the days goes on. So for the most part of the state, they're seeing a little bit of the clouds, but not as much as we're seeing here in Tallahassee. Now, what's going on currently is we can see over here to our northwest, we can see this cold front that's a little bit farther west from this right here, from this little blob of rain. But this is ahead of the cold front. It's bringing a lot of rain towards right now. It's in Alabama, reaching the panhandle a little bit. We thought it was going to come a little bit more towards our way, but it just headed off a little bit more towards the northeast. And this is associated with a subtropical jet that's reached a little bit up towards us, and it's almost the same pattern as we had last week. All those 3 days we had nothing but rain. It's almost the same pattern. It's just bringing up all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and just feeding it into this cold front. But for the most part of the state, we can see it is pretty clear. A little bit of clouds here towards Tallahassee, and that helps explain the temperatures that I explained in the previous slide. And as you can see, 24-hour temperature difference. We have 13 in plus 13 in Jacksonville, plus 8 in Orlando and West Palm Beach. But for those of us that are underneath the clouds and underneath the rain, you can see the -3 and also a little bit of the blue colors over here indicate that they're lower from 24 hours ago right now. And the current winds, they're out of the southeast at 13 miles per hour for us here in Tallahassee. And as I explained earlier in the beginning of this show, it's really helping suppress this ick factor that we normally have with the high humidity and high dew points that we have whenever, the feeling that we have with high humidity values. And that's good for us because walking out there, you can walk just a little bit and you start sweating a little bit. But futurecast, we can see that this cold front comes a little bit closer towards us. We see this little temperature gradient over here. That's ahead of the cold front that's going to be coming our way. But that's not really, for us, it's not going to really bring the temperatures down much. The temperatures will go down a little bit slightly as we head on to Friday night to Saturday morning. You can see it'll be 73 about 7 o'clock on Saturday morning, and around 7 o'clock, it'll still be 73, and you can see most of the cooler temperatures stay up north. But for tonight, it's going to be 67 here in Tallahassee, 64 in Jacksonville, 73 in West Palm Beach. It's going to be a pretty mild night. I wouldn't say it's chilly, but you can go out in shorts and flip-flops and you'll be perfect. But for Friday, it's going to be 80 degrees here in Tallahassee, 85 in Jacksonville, 89 in Miami. They are sitting hot right now, or they will be tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day down there for them tomorrow. But the storm system that's going to affect us is going to head on their way here soon. But for Saturday, it's going to be 79, 81 here in Jacksonville, and 85 in Orlando. But for right now, I'm going to pass it off back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Andres. Now let's go ahead and talk more about the severe weather threat that's impending for our viewing circle. So tonight, we're going to be monitoring a threat, especially in our northwestern counties, of strong to severe storms. Again, a slight risk is in effect for those areas, including Gadsden County and some of the southern Georgia regions as well. Now, as we get into toward your Friday, we'll be watching again for a severe weather risk, a little more widespread, though, slight risk for the whole coverage area. So something that is very much worth noting: damaging winds, large hail. Even an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. I think Storm Prediction Center could issue a tornado watch for our area tomorrow, so just be ready for that, as that could definitely occur, and have a way to get those warnings throughout the afternoon in case you do get under a severe thunderstorm or a tornado warning. And then on Saturday, this threat could linger around, a marginal risk for our viewing circle, and that'll be in effect. And probably about noon or so is when we're monitoring the biggest concern. Again, we do have some damaging winds around, as even large hail cannot be ruled out with this, as it does sweep through. The cool front sweeps through and makes for a nice rest of the weekend. Maybe go out and golf. It should be great for that. Just enjoy the conditions that will be around. What I want to do right now, though, is actually focus on a couple things. Tonight is Jake's first show team leading here with FSU Weather, and he's doing a great job. Just really proud of him. I know he's just doing great. He's actually in here right now doing time cues for me, and just doing just wonderful. And I know there's going to be great times ahead in the summer, fall, and the spring as well for him. He'll be team leading Wednesdays in the fall and the spring, so he'll be taking over on ICE's. So webcam Wednesdays, that'll be Jake's focus there. And also team leaders, the rest of them will do great as well. We're talking about Andres, as well as Brooke, Matt Mackey, and of course, we're talking about Kendra Spalding as well. But right now, we'll go ahead and take it back over now for a final look of things locally with Shane.
Thanks, Casey. We sure are looking forward to next year. But let's talk about the weather that we're looking forward to as well. Or maybe you're not, if you don't have your umbrella handy. We've got rain moving into the region there, again, right around the tri-state area. Some very locally heavy rainfall moving past Dothan, just crossing the Chattahoochee River at this hour. but it's going to be bringing more moisture into the tri-state area, and across the Big Bend we'll be seeing that cloud cover increasing. Right now the winds are all coming up out of the south, 13 miles per hour in Tallahassee and 16 miles per hour in Panama City, and that's pushing a lot of moisture off of the Gulf up towards that cold front away towards the north. And that's really firing up these storms. When you've got the warm, moist air and the cool, dry air interacting, you get a lot of active weather out of that. And that's what we're watching here at FSU Weather. And we can see that indicated by the blue boundary on here. That's our cold front. And as we watch it progress eastward, we're going to be seeing it bring lots of rainfall across all of Alabama into the panhandle of Florida as we get into the lunchtime hours tomorrow. We've got lots of rain from New Orleans through Pensacola and arriving on Tallahassee's doorstep. So bring the umbrellas when you head out tomorrow morning. And we're going to continue to track that system across the Big Bend. And we're going to watch out for a flooding risk as well with this system. But by the overnight hours, Friday into Saturday, we should be starting to see that push out of our region. We won't tell you that there's going to be no rain in the morning on Saturday, but things will finally be tapering off around that time. Clouds will hang around a bit, but once they're out of here, the system will finally be done with. So the question on everyone's mind is tomorrow a good day to take out the boat? The answer is categorically no, unless you absolutely need to. Winds coming from the south at 5 to 10 knots, waves of 2 to 4 feet. And the kicker here is that thunderstorms are likely, and being out on a boat is a very dangerous thing to do when lightning is a hazard. So if you don't have to take the boat out tomorrow, save it for next week. As for tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to get down to a low of 67 degrees, 40% chance of rain, which will be increasing as we move into the overnight hours into tomorrow when we climb up to a high of 77 degrees in the capital. Similar conditions in the upper 70s for all of our neighbors. And the other thing we've all got in common is that 80% chance of rain with severe weather being a distinct possibility. So do keep your NOAA weather radios active. Tomorrow is the big rain day. We'll see that tapering off on Saturday with temperatures lowering to 75 degrees for a high on Sunday with beautiful conditions that extend into early next week, climbing back up into the upper 70s with a little bit of cloud cover as we get into this time next week. But for now, to wrap things up, let's send it back to Nicole and Andre.
Thank you, Shane. Really, really good insight right there. And to wrap it up, just please, tomorrow, Saturday, we have the big event coming up, so take advantage of that. It's a good way to give back to the community.
I agree. And just make sure that when you do go, bring an umbrella. You know, be ready for any severe weather in the next 2 days, for sure.
Boots, rain boots.
Rain boots, can't forget those.
You don't want to mess up your nice sneakers.
Absolutely not. You know, I'm pretty sad that we have, like, not very good beach weather. Really sad that I can't use my yacht this weekend, but, you know, things happen.
Well, I mean, you know, after Saturday, it should be fine because actually come noon Saturday, as you can see right here on the graphic, come noon Saturday, you know, these rains are going to be out of the way, and the rest of the week should be nice. Look at that, 78 on Monday, clear.
At least have a beautiful Sunday afternoon boating, you know.
Boating, yeah.
Yep.
Or doing homework.
Or that. Probably that.
But if you want, you can go on Facebook, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather. And you can also watch us anytime you want on livestream.com/FSU Weather. And we also have an Instagram account, so please send us pictures. We'd love to see pictures of what's going on around campus. If you see a nice, beautiful cloud that might look like a chicken, send it to us. Because you know what? We'll show it. We'll show whatever you bring to us. So do it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you again, Tallahassee. Have a great night.
Have a good night.